You can choose up to 5 leases in the RealNex CRM and have it create a personalized presentation for your clients. From the Presentation Designer, you can select up to 17 pre-designed pages, such as a cover page, lease summary, and comparison page. You can also add another 10 PDFs to the presentation. Here are the steps. From the CRM, open spaces or lease comps and query for the records you want to select from. Change to the list view to select from 1 to 5 spaces or lease comps. Click the Export action and choose Lease Analysis. The only mandatory field is the analysis name. Everything else is optional. Most of the fields are self-explanatory, but one useful section that needs an explanation is the lease defaults. The first is CRM commencement date. If you check this box and you've entered a lease commencement date in the space, we'll use that as the start date for the lease. If you do not check this box, or if the space doesn't have a lease commencement, we'll use the date you put in the top of this dialog for lease start date. Use CRM increase. If you've added a number to the increase field for the space and you check this box, we'll use that number as the increase each year. If the number is less than 1, we'll assume it's a percentage. If the number is greater than 1, we'll assume it's an annual increase amount. If you enter a number in the annual increase field, we'll use that for all the leases that don't have a value in increases. Again, less than 1 means percent, greater than 1 is annual. If you add a number in the free rent field, that will also be added to each lease. Two other fields that are important to note are the space square foot field and the rent fields. We will populate the Lease Analysis rentable square foot field with the value from the space square foot field. Starting rent for each lease comes from the space rent fields. First, we look at the rent per month field in the CRM. If you have a value in that field, we multiply it by 12 and use it as the annual rent for the space. If that field is empty, we look at the rent per square foot field and assume that it is the annual rent per square foot. We multiply that value times the lease square footage field to get the annual rent for each space. Click Create to create the lease analysis, and from that point you can enter as much detail about the lease as you want to.